Hi guys, it's Fresh About Town here, and welcome. Today we'll be looking at me prepping some lamb for a barbecue, which we couldn't go to because the weather wasn't very good. First stage, you generally need to clean the meat when you buy it from the butchers. We go to the butchers down at what's it called again? Edmonton Green, and clean it with some white vinegar, or was it brown vinegar? You have to make sure you don't put too much of the vinegar in the water because I think it cooks the meat. So a good balance of water and vinegar helps you to clean the meat. Actually, before I get into the video, I don't really cook lamb very often, so I had to watch quite a number of videos to brush up on what to do in terms of seasoning, and I wasn't going to go for the usual African based seasoning whereby you blend your Scotch bonnet pepper, your garlic, your ginger, and onions together and just cover it with it. Excuse me. So no, I decided not to go for that and just try something different. So I did go to the shop and pick up some seasoning from Day, and yeah, I'll explain that when we get to it. So I took my time to clean the meat because obviously we're taking it to a barbecue, and also we're thinking of sending one of our friends some. So had to make sure it was cleaned very well, and there was a mixture of lamb ribs and pork ribs. And to respect my other friends don't really eat pork, so I had to make sure that there was no contamination. So I kept on washing my hands and dealt with the lamb first, then, so I got myself some lamb ribs and some lamb chops. And again, the lamb ribs, yeah, easy to clean. The lamb chops, they're quite bony and quite prickly, so you have to be careful. You don't really sting it, well, not sting yourself, but cut yourself when you're doing it. Yeah. So again, prep the lamb ribs first, then prep the lamb chops. I think I kept it in the fridge for a bit to allow the usual water to drain out of it. Well, the water goes to the bottom of the tray. Then you throw that water away before I add my seasoning, so that the seasoning doesn't get too watery. And what I was going for was herbs crusted lamb. So that's why I wanted the lamb to get a bit on the dry side before I actually deal with it. So the first stage was me just generally just cleaning it. And again, as I said, because I was handling pork and lamb, I had to make sure that once I had dealt with the lamb, I cleaned the whole thing properly so that there's no cross contamination. And yeah, that's what I did. So cleaned everything. Then I started dealing with the lamb. But I think the pork, but that'll be in another video. So this is purely for the lamb. So yeah, cleaned it. Then came to the seasoning. So I think I got myself some thyme, rosemary, Chinese five spice, Cajun pepper, and I think I got myself some Himalayan salt. Everyone keeps on talking about it when we watch videos, so I thought definitely need to get one of those in the cupboard. So yeah, first of all, I chucked the Himalayan salt in the bowl. Generally, everyone keeps on complaining I don't add enough salt to my meat seasoning, so I thought let's get it right this time around. And next, I added my Chinese spice. It's fairly strong Chinese spice, so you have to be very careful. The whole house was smelling of spices up until this morning because I don't know. I think I might have used too much of it. I think I did 3 bowls of that because trying to cover all the meat with that herbs, I don't know. I think I just got my portions wrong. So added my Chinese five spice, then I added my Cajun spice. I wanted a bit of a kick because I wasn't too sure if the chili mix would be high enough, and we generally like our cooked stuff with lots of chili in it. Then threw in, I know lamb likes a lot of, well, lamb, thyme and rosemary complement lamb a lot, so I had a bit more of the thyme, which I'm throwing in now, and the rosemary. Then I noticed we had some mixed Italian herbs in the cupboard, and I think I checked a few of those in there as well. In between, I think I threw something in which I cannot remember what it is. So I added something else. Then added before I added the Italian herbs. Frankly speaking, I can't remember. So whatever you have in the house, just chuck it in. depending on your taste, and I think that should work. And as I said, the aim is to have oh yeah, I added some garlic as well because garlic also complements lamb. So we did add. I'm saying we did, but this time I did the cooking. So I did add the garlic powder to it, and then added my Italian mixed herbs to it, and I think that was it. So stirred everything together and just applied it to the meat, which the subsequent videos will show. I'm just trying to finish all the talking now, so you can just enjoy the rest of the video without me interrupting with my constant talking. So I made sure everything was mixed properly, purely on the basis of the salt. I didn't want all the salt to be on one part of the meat and not the other. So kept on stirring till I thought it was okay. Then I took the cleaned lamb chops and lamb ribs from the fridge. For the lamb chops, I just sprinkled the seasoning on top. And frankly speaking, I forgot I was doing two batch of lambs, so I actually poured all that seasoning on this, which I shouldn't have. That's what made me actually do another batch for the seasoning. So I made sure everything was covered properly. I think I actually pressed the seasoning into the meat. I'm a bit worried with dry seasoning because I'm not too sure if it will really penetrate the flesh all the way to the bone kind of thing. So I tapped everything in. I'm not sure if I showed it, but I did spray some oil on it and poured some olive oil on it, which I'm not sure you should do because it's actually going on the barbecue. Because we are not going to the barbecue, I'm going to stick this in the oven. Some of it, the other stuff, chucked in the freezer to use next week if the weather is good, so we can go to that barbecue. So as I said, I just sprinkled it on it, pressed the seasoning into the meat, and then turned everything over and repeated the same process again. This narration thing, it's quite hard. I'm really trying my best to make sure that I'm as fluent as possible, but keeping up with the video as well. So yeah, as I said, I repeated the process, checked all the seasoning on it, and made sure everything was covered properly, and put it back in the fridge. Generally, I do aim for at least 24 hours of marinating the stuff so that everything tastes really nice. I cannot have bland food. That's the whole point of season. Make sure that everything tastes good. I think that's it. Then I think I moved on to the lamb ribs and repeated the same process. Just checked a whole load of season, the same season as I just mentioned on the ribs, and yeah, voila, it was ready to go into the fridge to marinate for a good. Oops, it just went off. Sorry, guys. Someone rang and disturbed the whole thing, and I got slightly confused. And yeah, so that's all I wanted to say. So enjoy the rest of the clip. Subscribe, like, and comment. Thanks, Jordan, for this recommendation.
I don't think you're ready for FK Records.
See, baby, what don't you right here? I dia wa pay me, and so she not a fair. I just African boy. I dia wa pay me, and so she not a fair. And so she not a fair. Who are you gonna do like a doctor? The way you do me, oh girl, it's bad. Oh girl, it's bad. I buy up this, she take you. Buy up that, she take you. What again, no, tell me, girl, I go do. Although you kayo. Sick of you, I sell my bike, oh. Buy your shoe, I heal low. So it is way you go do me back, oh. See, baby, who don't try? And up it down to your family cell, don't again. Small love, she don't come here, don't again. And up it down to your family cell, don't again. Small love, I they want to, she don't come here, don't again. Boy, DB, I say the lesson this girl teach me. She said say buy me this, buy me that, take am, yeah, do am this. Right now she dey kill me. My body say me cannot give am sika. So me love you, so what ya sija. Girl, you know me, I know me, I know me, I know me. I make teenage yapoka. Oh my God, man, don't know wife. Why you not come destroy my life? Oh my God, man, don't know wife. Why you not come destroy my life? Tell me I gun. Tell me I gun. Tell me I gone far away. Yeah. End up be down to your family cell. Don't like it, don't like it. Small love, she dey come your door like it, don't like it. End up be down to your family cell. Don't like it, don't like it. Small love, I dey want to, she dey come your door like it, don't like it. Baby, would don't try, yeah. Diawa pay me, yeah. As a gignard affair, yeah. As a gignard affair. And up be down to your family cell. Don't like it, don't like it. Small love, she dey come your door like it, don't like it. And up be down to your family cell. Don't like it, don't like it. Small love, I dey want to, she dey come your door like it, don't like it. And up be down to your family cell. Don't like it, don't like it. Small love, she dey come your door like it, don't like it. And up be down to your family cell. Don't like it, don't like it. Small love, I dey want to, she dey come your door like it, don't like it. African boy, what do? And it's your boy, DBI. Confirm.